In this video, we'll be looking at the additional functions in the client screen. The client screen has several blue buttons at the top of the screen here that enable us to enter information and perform other functions. At the top left, we see the barring function. The barring function allows Chintaro to prohibit a client from being tenanted for either a set period of time or indefinitely. We would use the barring function if an issue arose with a client and we wanted to bar them from being able to be tenanted in Chintaro. When we click the barring button, the middle section of the client screen changes, and we can now view or enter information here. When we want to bar a client for a set period of time, we first enter a start date that the barring will commence, for example, 1st of April 2018. Like all date fields in Chintaro, we can either type the date straight in here or select a date from the calendar icon. We then enter an end date. In this example, David Beckham will be barred for 2 weeks, so we enter 14th of April 2018. We also need to select a reason for the barring, which we select from the drop-down list. This, like all drop-down lists in the system, can be edited by your system administrator. We can enter comments in here, and we'll have a look at barring again in a later video. The next function we will look at is housing history, which allows us to enter more detailed data about our client's housing history. If this is useful to our organisation, we enter the history of our client, such as area we're currently living, current housing situation, weeks in current housing, reasons for leaving, number of moves in the last 5 years, and so on. Your Chintaro system administrator can customise the options in these drop-down boxes through system maintenance. The next function here will show us one of 2 options, depending on your system preferences. If we are in South Australia, this button will show SA data, where we enter our client's community housing customer register number if they're a co-op member or guardian of minister. For all other states in Australia and New Zealand Chintaro users, this button will show us tags and will bring up our tags just like clicking Add Edit Tag here. The SMS, email and word merge buttons here are used when we need to communicate with an individual client, which we've viewed in previous videos. The next 2 functions, residency links and make booking, are only used by a few Chintaro users. We'll skip over these, but if you'd like to know more about them, have a look at the Chintaro knowledge base to see if they'll be useful to you. The next of kin button is used to record up to 2 of a client's next of kin. The confirmed button is no longer used as the confirmations in here are now on the main client screen. The income details button takes us back to the default view when we open the screen. The waiting list button allows us to jump straight to the waiting list record if our client has one, or create a new waiting list entry. And the final button will show as Create Tenancy if our client is not currently housed, or View Tenancy if they are a current tenant. We'll be looking at the waiting list and Create Tenancy buttons in more detail in later videos.